Oh boy, I love playing Resident Evil 4. I just wish there was a way to play it more than 60 FPS and then it would be perfect. But oh no! I am cursed by FPS caps. 60 FPS just isn't enough for a game with such high action like this. Hello, and don't worry, because I know a duck that can save the day. You press Control, Alt, Enter, and you can thank me later. Okay, whatever you say, weird man in a hat. Control, Alt, L. Wow, this feels 10 times better already. You could even say it's 20 times better. Oh my god, now it's over 1000 FPS and it feels so much better. Does this happen to you? Are you sick of playing games in low FPS? Then watch this video and learn how I got over 1000 FPS, and it works for nearly every game. Yo, Jack Robbo, keep it real, and I hope you are too. Welcome to the video. Play every game 240 plus FPS, and I mean literally every game. Well, nearly every game, but technically every game. I put technically not clickbait because even though it is true, you probably want to stick to like 120 or 180, as you'll soon see why. As you seen in the intro, Resi 4 FPS went up. It says went up silly, but it went from 60 to over 1000. But the numbers don't tell the full story, so let's get into it. So this video is going to be in 2 parts. That's 4. That's 2. This part will be made on my gaming PC. The next part will be on my handheld when I get it back from the shop eventually. It's been like 2.5 weeks now or something. But what I'm going to do is, also, I don't know if people have noticed, but I've started putting chapters in my videos, and you can use there's a little box. You can skip to the chapters that I put in. So we got chapter 1. What app are we using? And where do we get it? And what does it cost? Chapter 2. What is frame gen? And known issues with fake frames. Chapter 3. Just a little quick talk about my use with it compared to like what I knew from reviews. Chapter 4. Running hard to run games and seeing if frame gen can help, because it's literally like in the advertising it's like press this button and double your FPS. Doesn't work like that, and I'll show you. Chapter 5 is games I've actually played the whole game with frame gen on, and I'll show you the settings I used to get it like the best I could. And chapter 6 is, obviously, I'm just a blonde muppet who's meant to say chatting shit, but who's here. There's some better videos to watch, and I'll link them in the description and stuff, because it's like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about my personal experience with this frame gen. It's called Lossless Scaling, by the way, if you're not figured it out. I'm going to talk about my interaction with frame gen. And then, but the big YouTubers do like proper and then there's a video by Vex, which is quite interesting. And there's also a channel who have only got like 6 videos, but every video is just frame gen, how it works, new updates, what did he bring, what did he take away, is it better, is it worse, what should you do, all that business. This video is probably going to have some weird cuts, by the way, because I've got this idea of how to make big projects faster, and I'm trying it out in this video. So it's like the cuts might be weird, but if it is, then I'll go back to the old style way, which takes the piss. But I'd rather have a good video to watch. So yeah. Anyway, chapter 1. Fuck's this chatting here? Chapter 1. Lossless Scaling. The app's called Lossless Scaling. And as you can see from this picture, it's on Steam. The graphics aren't as good as I was hoping, but fuck it. I'll read it to you anyway. It's on Steam. I'm in Britain, and it costs less than £6. I believe in America or like US dollars regions, it's about £7. But it's constantly on offer, so it's not it's not breaking the bank. And it's like obviously this is the page for it. Buy it, add it, put it on your desktop, bang. So lossless scaling works by putting frame gen into games. And for people who don't know what frame gen is, here's like a little diagram that I have found on the internet, which was like this is what Nvidia showed at the I believe it was CES to try and get people interested in frame gen, and it did not go down well. But I'll talk you through it the best I can. I've got the IQ of an orange, so bear with us. This probably won't make sense to anyone else but me. But basically, the usual way, normal, like native, is you've got your ball, the ball's moved again, and that's like if it was FPS, it would look like a slideshow. Well, not a slideshow, but you know what I mean. What frame gen does is it uses AI to make a fake frame in between the real ones, so it looks more realistic. It looks like obviously it's better frames watching the ball go across the screen. A lot of people don't like it because obviously the AI generated, but when it comes to gaming, I don't care about AI. Working on it when you're on Windows and you get your little pop up saying Copilot wants to wish you happy birthday, even though your birthday's in 7 months. That winds me up properly. But using it for games, a okay with me. This sort of carries on from the last point, even though it's the next chapter. But it's I just want to say where it says PC latency, that's true. That's true. That's a lie, and that's a lie because like basically because it's like the lower the frames, the lower the latency. So it's like I don't know how to explain it. If you move a mouse fast, when you move your mouse, it takes 71 milliseconds before it actually moves at low frame rates. At higher frame rates, obviously that number's smaller because it like the movement is like in the frame, if that makes sense. It doesn't make sense to me, but if that makes sense to you, then good on you. But it's like saying that's 35 and that's 34, that's a complete lie. Because it's like say it's like it drops down to 34 for 70-ish FPS. That's about right. But when you put that's frame gen 1 and that's multiple frame gen because Nvidia brought out multiple frame gen, which I've not tried because I've got my cards are 30 series. But I can tell you now, that's not what the latency is. It's like because you got 34 milliseconds. That's like about right-ish. Pardon me. And then you put frame gen on times 2, which means you get one fake frame for every real frame. So the latency, if it's real fake, real fake, real fake, the latency stays the same as what the smaller number is before you put frame gen on. Like that's yeah. But when you add more frames, the latency goes up, but not the latency goes up when you put more frames in. But it's like it goes up to maybe like 50, maybe 60, depending on what your original frame rate is. But when you put multiple frame gen on, your original frames drop. Like what I'll do is I'll start with Doom because you'll see what I mean. Because it goes, the game runs at 80, and then it drops to 60, and then doubles it because it uses computer power to double the FPS. Which, for me, I personally love. I don't think the technology is like quite where it needs to be. Like technology is not quite good enough for it. But for an idea that can be worked on in the future, I reckon it's great. I reckon in the future, consoles will be 1 frame, 59 fake frames, and it'll still run good and blah de blah de blah, all that business. Quick talk about real life usage is like 34 seconds, like 71 to 34 milliseconds. You can feel the difference, but when you put multiple frame gen on and it goes up to like 50 on keyboard and mouse, after the first 5 minutes, I can't tell the difference. On controller, I can't tell the difference at all. But keyboard and mouse, I always turn my sensitivity up, and you can tell the difference. But it's not like it's still better than playing at low F. It's still better playing at like 27 FPS. If that makes sense. Chapter 4. Here we go. We're getting into the proper stuff now. Right on the left, they're the games I'm going to show because they're the hardest games to run that I own. The plan is I'm going to show my graphic settings, show what the FPS is. I'm going to show what the ×2 FPS is because the latency is pretty much the same, even though the FPS doubles. I'm going to show adaptive frame gen, which lossless scaling's done for about 12 months now, and Nvidia are bringing it out later this year. It might even be this month, I don't know. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to throw mad fucking shit in there just for a laugh, just because it'll be funny. Looking, the screen's bright as fuck, can't see anything. But I wanted to show this before I get into it, before I start showing games, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to show this, and then what I'm going to do is because on the harder to run games, because like these are my 4 presets that I use every time I use this app, because you can save them for later. Like, there's not really much of a difference, but I'll talk you through it. Settings for YouTube video is a new thing I've made just to show people this video. Right, you've got your different. So you got lossless scaling, frame gen. Like, I've not tried the other two, but 3.1. If you go from like, if you've got 60 to 120 FPS, if you put LSFG 3.1 on, I can't tell the difference. But what I'm going to do is at the end of the video, I'm going to try and do like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to record 15 FPS, but I'm going to do ×4. I'm going to do ×4 multiplier on. So it's 60 FPS. So it's 1 real frame, 3 fake frames, to show you why low FPS is bad. But LS frame gen 3.1 is really good. It was actually, when that update come out, I seen loads of videos about it and thought, you know what, for £6 I'll buy it myself. Mode, you got fixed or adaptive. Fixed is you got multiplier, so you got ×2. So that's like 60, 120. And then you've got ×4, which is like 60, 240. And it goes all the way up to 20. I think 20 it goes up to. So 60 FPS is like over 1,000, but it lags out that much. You don't want to be using that. We're gonna stick with 2. We're gonna stick with 2 for this video because the less frames, the lower the latency. And I'll do adaptive, which is like 2.5 because I've got a 165 monitor. Flow scale is you can set the resolution, like it says there. Set scale to 75 for 1440 game resolution or 50% for 4K because it lowers the quality of the fake frame to keep performance high. Because as you'll see in a minute, I'm going to put it on 100 as like a worst case scenario, and you'll see what I mean. And then performance is like a similar thing It's like it lowers the quality of the fake frame to boost performance. Because if you think about it, if you're running a game at say 80 FPS, your GPU has to run the game at 80 FPS, and in between real frames, it's got to generate a fake AI frame and slot it in every time on 2 multiplayer, or it's got to make 2 and slot it in on 3 multiplayer, or it's got to make 3 and slot it in on 4 multiplayer. So, yeah, that's how that works. There is scaling, like there's FSR, because it's open source, but I'm going to save that for me handheld version of this video because I think it makes more sense on there. Because like you can put it on in game on PC and you still get high FPS, whereas on a handheld, like probably seen from the MSI video, you struggle to get 30 in most games. Capture mode, DXGI works best for me, but you have to do WGC to capture the footage on the software that I use, which is OBS. So that's what we're doing. Sync mode is default, which is I use default and G-Sync support because my monitor's FreeSync. So G-Sync support, default, you get no tearing. If you turn it off, you get tearing. But yeah. And draw frames is like FPS counters don't work because of the extra fake frame, whereas draw FPS tells you the game frame rate and what you've changed it to. It tells you the game's frame rate and what the frame rate is after the frame gen. So, yeah. Clip cursor. I always keep that on because it's better. Both of these are normally on auto, but because I've got my gaming screen and I've got my OBS screen, so I've had to select that one. And preferred GPU, I've only got the one, so it's auto. But you can use two GPUs, which if I find a good deal, I might try, or if I upgrade, I might try. But what you can do is you can play the game on one GPU and then use the other GPU to make the fake frames, so you're not losing the performance, which will make sense in a minute, like once we start getting into games and stuff. Right, so this is the before. This is before we put lossless scaling on. These are the stats, like FPS, blah 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 blah, latency, all that. Over here, when I turn lossless scaling on, the frame rate's going to move to white writing up here, but I'll come to that when we get to it. So it's like this is doing the Dark Ages. Obviously, we're getting about 65, maybe 70, maybe 60 FPS. Where's the options? Settings, video. Yeah, you've got to put it in borderless window for this to work. It's got to be window or borderless, but borderless usually works better. But that's my setup, 1440, 165 FPS. Like, that's the goal we're trying to get. And as you can see, DLSS balanced, DLSS 4 by the way, balanced. We've got path tracing off, everything. This game's weird because it doesn't have like a proper, like, look, ultra, like, is pretty much like a bit better than medium, so it's like ultra. It's on custom by the way because of the DLSS, I think. But it's like playing the game, we get like 60, 70, we'll call it 65. I mean, it's running good. I mean, you're watching the video in 60, so you won't be able to tell the difference. But let us put, where does your tab lossless scaling, and then we've got ×2 multiplier with the AI graphics on full and performance turned off. So if we put this on now and then go back to the game, the screen will flash See, that's what I was on about before. Like, that's what I was on about before. It's dropped from 65 to like 55-ish. And we've got 105 FPS, which on my screen tells a difference. Like the Nvidia control panel's lagging out there. But it's like, what's weird about it is you're getting the latency that you would at 55 frames. So when the frames go up, what people don't realise is they prefer the faster controls for the faster FPS. So even though it looks 110 FPS, the controls are 56 FPS, 55, whatever. But it's like, as you can see, what I'll do is I'll limit the frame rate to 30, and then it'll double to 60, and then we'll see if we can see a difference then. So I'll be back in 1 second. So this is River Tuner. When you watch benchmark videos and they've got the numbers in the corner, that's because they've got on-screen display on, and that's how it looks there. But I've turned it off. But what another use of this is you can limit your FPS. Like what you do is where it says frame limit, type in your frame limit, and then you can do. You type in your frame limit, and then the game locks to that frame. And because we've got lossless scaling running, it should do 30 to 60. So we'll go back into the game now. Look exactly where we left off. Hold that button. I don't know if you can tell on screen. For me now, the latency's horrid. Like, the latency's really bad. Like, watch this. There's like a second delay, or like nearly a second. So this is not how I would use it because you can't aim properly. But I did this because what we'll do is we'll go through it frame by frame. Actually, while we're here, I'll just do it this way. Go to 15. I'm gonna put that to 15. Lossless scaling to 0.4 because what's gonna happen now is the game's going to be at 15 FPS, but the video is going to be 60. And hopefully, if it's working right, it'll look like a glitched up 60 FPS. But there's only one way to find out. Yeah, look at the delay on that. That's a massive delay. Like, you don't want that. Like, see the rain's falling down at weird angles. I don't know how good it comes up on video, but oh my god. Because 15 FPS is bad anyway. And then... Because I mean... That was fucking dirty how that worked then. What I'll do is I'll turn frame gen off. And we'll see how much the latency is. Right, frame gen off. So we're still running at 15 frames, but we've not got the health. It's still 15 frames. We might have to start the game again for it to show up on the overlay. So I've just restarted the game. And it's like, as you can see from the top, we're running 15 FPS. And it's 130 odd latency, and oh my god, it feels it. Like, watch this. Click, shield, click, shield. Like, at low FPS, frame gen's fucking useless. Like, it's so hard to play like this.
The Slayer has been activated.
But what I'll do is, because it's the same game, same settings, all I've done is restart. Where's Lossless? Oh yeah, it closes itself sometimes, which is a bit of a bugger, but don't worry about it, because what we'll do is settings for YouTube video. What we'll do is ×4 what we'll do is we'll do ×4, so the video is 60 FPS, so you can see the issues. So we're back into the game now. Like the game, like as you can see, there's a flash, and now the game actually looks 60 FPS. It doesn't control like 60 FPS. You still get the slow look, click, shield, click, shield, shoot, delay. You still get the delay, but as you can see from the video, it is looking a lot better. Like if I spin round, I promise not to do that again. Fuck's sake. But it's like this is like a worst case scenario, and with a first person and a mouse, most people have the sensitivity turned up. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll fly at this guy, see how much it breaks. Like, see how around the shield it went all wobbly and piss-heady? Like, that's like AI, because it can't... It's not getting enough information to be solid, if that makes sense. But what I'll do is... what we'll try is... Yeah, give us a sec. You know, what I've done now is I've put the frame rate to 60 and I've turned scaling off. So we'll go into Doom, and then we'll have a look at the stats, and then we'll move it around. Like already, that's 1,000 times better. Yeah, I had to restart the game, but frame rate is 60, scaling is off. When we go into the game now, look, 60 FPS. And we're getting about 1836. We'll call the latency. We'll say the latency is about 25. But look, shield, instantly, gun, click. Like, 25 is like the minimum you want, really, because it feels like, look, click, click. It's 25 milliseconds is pretty much like the perfect, like, where you want it to be. So we'll go back to the settings. What we'll do is, let me minimise that. Oh, fucking hell. What we'll do is, we'll try adaptive now, 165. So, my monitor is 165, that's why I chose it. So 60 to 165 is like frame gen, like 2.5. So it'd be real frame, fake frame, real frame, fake frame, fake frame, real frame, fake frame, real frame, fake frame, fake frame. I mean, the latency will be like 3. Maybe like it'd be like 3 times, but it'll look better. Because 65's been monitor's limit, there'll be no tearing, no whatever, no glitches, no CPU overhead. So theoretically it should be the best option to pick, but is it gonna be? Let's find out. So the screen will flash, and now we're running at 65 FPS. If you look at the top left, what it's doing is it's dropped to 49 and it's just doing frame gen 3 to keep it at 165. And to be fair, the latency is not bad. Like, shield, shield, shoot, shoot. It's after about, if you move too fast it starts glitching out. But you know, if you take it slow, if you're playing on controller you wouldn't tell the difference. But mouse and keyboard, and I mean, like, right, we had a big glitch then. Yeah, we'll do this. Bang. Yeah, yeah. Use your shield to block the damage. I mean, it's like 40 odd. Well, I mean, like, when you go to frame, when you put frame gen on, so like ×2, the latency goes up a bit, whereas 3 and 4, the frames are barely different because it's 165's the maximum. The frames are barely different, so it can do them fast. So to be fair, the latency's not bad and the game looks way better. If I was playing on controller, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Yeah, this is a fast bit, so we'll do this bit here. If you look at the mouse as well, I don't know how well it comes up on screen. See how it's like when you move it fast and it has ghosting, that's normal. But when you go slow and there's ghosting, that's not normal. But what I'll do is, actually, I'll do this fast bit and then we'll go on to the next game. But on the next game, I won't go into as much detail, I'll just tell the differences. And then for every game after, it'll just be like quick run through. So, yeah, we'll fuck these bastards up. Yeah, fuck them up. Fucking shader compilation. When are they gonna sort this out? Right now we're in Mafia. And I mean, it's responsive. But look, it's where's settings? Settings, graphics. Borderless. VSync off. Medium preset. DLSS balanced. No, not DLSS balanced. TSR balanced, we don't want that on. DLSS balanced. Right, so we got borderless, medium, DLSS balanced. Let's have a look how we're doing. So I mean the game looks great. It's very responsive. I don't know if you can see because the numbers are in the trees and the trees are green. I need to find. If you look there, we're getting about 70-ish FPS and 20 milliseconds latency. But yeah, look at this that I've just figured out. If we go back to... One sec. Let me just get this up. Show. If we put it to 60, so the game tries to play. The game's pushing FPS about 65, 70. Look at that. Limited to 60. The latency's halved. Well, not halved, it's gone from 20 to like 12. It does feel a lot more responsive. And it looks a lot smoother as well, being locked at 60. But let's turn that off, because we're gonna fucking thingo anyway. I don't know why that keeps closing itself. Right, the first test. If you put that to 0, that's like, you know, computer's going to push as many frames as it can. We're going to start here because we're getting about 65, 75 FPS. I mean, it looks alright. The latency is definitely not as good, but who cares? But what we're going to do is we're going to get this car and we're going to rag it across the fields, because when you drive cars in games, it proper fucks everything up. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? So actually the FPS has not changed that much, but if you look at the car, you know, it's not taking well to DLSS. Look at the wheels. Well, you know, right, that'll be the test. Options. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll go back to where I was and then we'll do frame gen. Right, so we're back to where we were, and it's 75, 65, depending on what we're doing. But what we'll do is we'll put frame gen on, fixed ×2, no help. So click on the game, and then the screen will flash. Or not. And there we go, it's dropped to 56, but now we're getting 100 FPS, which probably doesn't look like much on video, but, you know, it actually is. What we'll do is we'll get in the car again, It is a hell of a lot smoother on my screen, but if it go because of YouTube, if it goes above 60, if it goes above 60 FPS, you can't see it on YouTube. But what we'll do is we'll get in the car to see if the car fucks up. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but around the wheels, definitely not as responsive either. There's space for handbrake. Boom. Driving what I call the bathtub car. Yeah, it's. I mean, the game is looking a lot better. Latency is not enough. There's not enough latency difference for it to be a problem. I mean, it's like if you played the game at 50 FPS, you can get the same latency. So just do that one. But what we'll do is we'll do our 15 and then times 4 next. So I'll be back in 1 second. Right, so we're back in the usual spot. We'll knock it down to 15 FPS, and then we'll see what the stats are. And I can tell you now, the latency is fucking horrid. And it appears, what's it called, lagged out. But I know I didn't do this before. How'd you get your gun out? I don't even know how to get the gun out. Do you have to scroll there? No, was it that one? Is it that one? That one? That one? But let's say, anyway, look, zoom. 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 It's like it's doing it the second after. It's doing it like the second after I press the button. Can I get my gun out here? 1 sec, I don't know how to get the gun out. If I do that and then do that, does it fix itself? No. Well, what I'll do is I'll fix that so it tells you the latency. Well, anyway, the latency's not working, but what we'll do is we've got fuck's sake. Fucking I don't like having this many programs open. So 15 FPS. Lossless scaling times 4 to get it to 60. Let's see how it goes. So it's fucking horrible. It's like fucking Microsoft PowerPoint. Fucking hell, look at that. That's a hell of a difference. Can you see the if you look round Eziodo, or whatever his name is, Altair, if you look, it's not looking too great, especially if he spins too fast. Spin the camera too fast, it just turns into a mess. So what we'll do is we'll go for a drive. Can't even say that name. It's probably Italian, isn't it? What we'll do is we'll go for a drive, and then we'll have a quick drive. Look at that. We'll have a quick drive and we'll try adaptive. Yeah, the latency. You don't want to have frame gen on in driving games. Because I have left. Yeah, you don't want latency in driving games. But it's like, look, if we do a handbrake turn, like look at the fucking screen there. The screen's going fucking skits. Screen's going fucking mad. It's actually, on my actual screen, it's coming up worse than it is on camera. But it's fucking lagging out to fuck and it looks horrid. So yeah, we'll go on to the next. We'll try adaptive now. So now we're back to 60 FPS. We're doing frame gen adaptive 165, pardon me. So screen will flash. The my overlay's broke as well, by the way. So same as Doom, it's dropped to 40, then it's tripling it. to get 165. And I mean, I don't know if you can see it on camera. Like, it's glitching out around the character, it's glitching out. Well, actually, now it's alright. Like, around his head and stuff, it's glitching out, but hey, if it's working, it's working. It's well more responsive. It's not perfect. If it was on controller, it would be sound, but we're not on controller, we're on mouse and keyboard. Right, look, I can drive again now, because the latency's better. Meow. Fuck you! Let's go off this cliff for a lap. All crash into that tree. And now we're dead. Now we're dead. Anyway, on to the next game.
To take a look at.
So now we're in Alan Wake. And, you know, 60 FPS-ish. You know, it's looking good. It's very responsive. All that business. So what we'll do now... Oh, fuck. Yeah, for some reason it keeps randomly bugging out. I think it's because my mouse is dying, but we'll ignore that. Yeah, but it's like, look, we're doing well. We're doing well. It's looking good. It's running good. This is... Look, we've got borderless, DLSS balanced, high settings. And it's like, yes, this is alright. 60-ish is alright, but if I'm going to play this properly, I want 120. So we'll go into... Where's lossless scaling? Lossless scaling. So we got fixed ×2. Let's go. So interesting. I mean, to be fair, it's doing like 50-ish, going up to 100-ish, which, to be fair, I'd play it, and I wouldn't mind playing this. But see, this is the problem with lossless scaling. This game was made to be played with frame gen on, because for slower games, like, it makes a hell of a difference. Like, if you play like story games, then it makes a hell of a difference. So what we'll do next is... So now we'll do our 15 FPS test. What does it look like at 15 FPS? Fucking awful. Like, watch. Dodge. 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 Does it like half a second later. I mean, it looks awful. Well, I mean, it looks great, but the FPS is awful. So we'll do our ×4. We'll do ×4 frame gen. Turn on. Click on game. Right, the frame rate's fucking awful. Oh my god. I don't know how well it's coming up on screen, but it looks... looks fucking horrid. Looks even worse if you do that. It's like pisshead vision. 15 up to 60. Yeah, not good. 60 to 120. Great. 15 to 60. Not good. This is where it needs work still. So what's next? So now we've got 60 FPS. And then we've got the adaptive 165. So let's just turn that on. Go back to the game. And I mean, look at that. I mean, it's dropped to like 40-ish. It's dropped to like 40-ish FPS. But, you know, you've got like dodge. Dodge. There's still a slight delay. Like, look, 3, 2, 1, dodge. There's still a slight delay, but it's way better than the other mode. Because it's like, this is the way I use this lossless frame gen is... That's actually the next chapter. I'll get onto that in a minute. But what we'll do is, right, we've tested this game now. It's lagging out a bit on the character, but fuck it. What you gonna do, eh? So what we'll do is we'll go on to the... What we'll do is, this is quite similar to Silent Hill. So we'll skip Silent Hill and go straight to Cyberpunk. And then that'll be chapter 4. Whoa! Whoa! What's this? I'm making a serious video. What's this? Now we're into Cyberpunk. You couldn't tell by that little bit. The intro's changed since last time I played this. And do you know what? Playing it. We're playing it medium. FSR. We're going to turn that off. We're going to change that. So we're on medium. But if you change it to DLSS, transformer balanced. We're on medium, but if you change it, it changes to custom. So I wanted to show that before we got into it. But this game's way different to when it was when I played it. I played it brand new, and I'm not asked about glitches, so I just finished the game. But yeah, so we're in here. We're getting 120-ish FPS. So what's first? First, we've got fixed ×2. Let's go. So we've gone from 120 to 80, but it's doubled to we'll call it 170. And do you know what? It does look amazing, to be fair. Like, I would actually play the game like this. I mean, you can't, it's a YouTube video, so you can't see it anywhere, but I would definitely play the game like this. So, what's next? What we'll do is we'll limit the frame rate. We'll unscale it. Sure. We'll limit the frame rate to 15. And then we'll show the game. Now look how much of a horror show that is. Look how horrible that is. I think there's motion blur on. Like, look how horrible that is. That's 15 FPS. So we've got to do ×4. We'll do ×4 to get it to 60. Watch the difference in this. Look how much better that is. I mean, it's not a perfect 60, but you get what I mean? I think if motion blur was off, it would be a lot better. But it's still, I mean, click, 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 still half a second behind. Like, the latency was alright before. I mean, when it was playing originally, that was when it was at its best. Lossless scaling. Turn off. Where's... So we'll change that to 60. We'll do adaptive 165. Play the game. That's quite responsive. That's just as responsive, but looks 10 times better. Looks 10 times better. So that's all the games I'm going to try for this. So we're on to the next part now. So right, chapter 5, finally. These games here are limited to 60 FPS because of the engine that they were built in. And if you go above 60 FPS, it breaks the game and your computer blue screens and blah, 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 blah. So what I did was I put thingy on. What's it called? So I put frame gen on, played the whole game. Metal Gear Solid is locked at 60. So I did the adaptive 60 to 165, played on controller. Couldn't tell the difference. No artifacts. Amazing. Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4. If you get the Game Pass versions, which are the ones I played, you can't go above 60 because it breaks the game. And also the Nexus mods don't work because it's a Game Pass game, not like a owned game. So I used frame gen. I just did lock at 60 times 2. I couldn't tell the difference. Looked amazing, played amazing, had a great time, amazing. Wolfenstein, same story. Locked at 60, frame gen, 120. It was great, especially for a fast-paced game as well. Like, I was surprised how well that did, but it's not as complex because it was technically like it was released on the PS3 and the PS4, so it was sort of like a mixed bag. But that did really well. Resi 4 OG, I'm going to play that video. I'm going to play that game in a second just to, like, show you the, what's it called? Just to show you, like, how good that is for frame gen. And, I don't want to say that, like, I don't want to say that out loud, and I don't want to talk about it too much in case, in case it's illegal, and please come to me out. But if you happen to do that, I own Guitar Hero, so I did PS3 emulator, played Guitar Hero, frame gen, Guitar Hero, 120 FPS. Great. If you've got other games that you own and you want to play them in high FPS, that's a perfectly good option because it works. I don't know if you noticed in the previous videos, but when I clicked scale, it started counting down. I clicked the game, there was a flash, and then it worked. But it's not just games it works on. Apparently, it works on games, emulators, videos, anime. Apparently, it works on all sorts, but I've only tested it on games. But I might look into it more if people want it. But what I'll do is I'm going to show Resi 4 because what I'm going to do with Resi 4 is I'm going to put the game at 5 FPS and then do it on times 20. So that should be 100 FPS. And because it's the more simple the game is, the less artifacts like the final images. So I'm going to put Resi. I'm going to put Resi on 4. I'm going to put Resi on 5 FPS. Do 20 times frame gen to get it to 100. What's 60 divided by 20? Is it 3? We'll do 3 FPS. I'll put it on 3 FPS. I'll do 20 times frame gen to get it to 60. And then we'll because you can see how easier games do better. So it's like what I do is like older games which struggle with high FPS and blah 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 blah. That's when I use frame gen. In newer games, I just turn the settings down and turn DLSS on. But this would be a good test actually because I've not thought of this before. And if this works, then it'll be good. So I'll be back in 1 second. Right, so here's Resi 4. It's running normally at 60 FPS. I'm going to shoot these birds and fail at it. But what we're going to do now is, as you can see, the game's looking amazing and it's running amazing. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to go back to the start. I'm going to put it to 3 FPS. Put 20 times frame gen on to get 60 FPS and we'll try and shoot the birds again. And then that'll be the end of the video. So I'll be back in 1 second. So I've restarted Resi. And look, the frame rate is limited to 3. Let's see how the game runs like this. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. This is an actual nightmare. This is an actual nightmare. Look, I'll aim. Oh my god, look how fucking terrible that is. What I'll do is I'll aim for the pigeon. Said I'll aim for the pigeon. Said I'll aim for the pigeon. I'm moving my mouse, by the way. Yeah, look how bad this is. Right, we're aiming at the pigeon. Watch this. Shoot. 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 It's not even working. Look, I'm tapping the button. There we go. Look, I've let go of the mouse now. We're still aiming. Like, this is fucking rough, this. This is fucking rough. But it's a good job I'm here. Because what I can do is I can pause it. I can pause it. Lossless scaling. This is going to be fucking horrendous now. Look, we're still on 3 FPS. Times 20. So this, the little white numbers in the corner now should say 3 and then 60. So, scale, resi. The numbers have gone scotty. I think the FPS is that low, it can't do it. But I'll go down to the exit. Yeah, the FPS is that low, it can't do it. 1 sec. Right, what I've done, I've gone to 15 FPS. So how's the game looking now? Is 15 FPS the lowest you can go? I mean, the game's not any better, to be fair. I mean, watch. Click. 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 I mean, the game's no better, to be fair. Look, we're running 15 FPS. You can see at the top. What I'll do is... scaling. We'll do times 20. So what's 15 times 20? 300. So it should go to 300 FPS now. Yeah, it's gone to 300 FPS, and like, see how it's glitching around him. I mean, the game is playing in slow motion, so we might have fucked it. You got 300. Look at his arm. See how it glitches out around his arm? Like, that's what frame gen causes, because it doesn't know what it's doing. But yeah, what we'll do is, just for a laugh, what we'll do is we'll go 60. And then we'll do times 20 on scale. Scale. What's 60 times 20? 120 innit? We'll do, it's 120. 1200, sorry. So this should be running at 1200 frames. I mean, 30 to 500's alright. I mean, it's not the most responsive I've ever played, but... And it fucking glitches out if you... Oh yeah, we've got a cutscene. I mean, it fucking glitches out heavily, like when you try and move and stuff. But yeah. So that's it for the games we're going to play. It's time to go to the last slide. So that's the end of this video. There are well, I can't say to be honest, but there's a lot of videos that I watched which give better information, and it's I'll link them in the description, because if you thought this video was fun, check out their videos, because they did like proper reviews. I just fucked about because I was bored, and this is the experience I get from it. But if you want to watch a proper video on it, I'll link the channels in the description. But yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Comment if there's any fucking weird apps or whatever you want me to check out. Just Yeah, give me suggestions on videos to do. If not, I'm just gonna play fucking mad shit and then make loads of me random videos. So I'm Jack Robbo. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Oh yeah.